Hey guys, can you guys hear me okay? Awesome. Okay, we are going to just get started and I'm just so happy that you guys are here at our Senior Gold Takeover Coffee Talk. Now, for those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Rachel Hofseth, and I am one of our Team Icon Horse Diamond Ambassadors. And I'm just going to be walking you guys through this afternoon in our coffee talk. And I just really can't wait for you guys to hear from our Senior Golds and just hear like their tips and the nuggets that they're going to be sharing and just all of the things. And I know that just as nervous as I am right now to be leading Coffee Talk, I know they are feeling that as well. And it's just such a fun opportunity to really stretch them and push them out of their comfort zones, because we all know that when we stretch ourselves and we step outside of our comfort zone, that is where that growth happens. So I told them, I said, you guys, everybody that's watching, like, we're all friends, like, just share your hearts. And I know that they're going to be so awesome and amazing, and I can't wait. But first of all, I just want to go over what it means to achieve senior gold. Like, what is that in Plexus? So what that means is that you have 250 pay points, which is around 50 level 1 through 3s on your team. When you reach senior gold, you also receive that one-time achievement bonus of $350. And what's really, really cool is that the monthly average income for a senior gold ambassador is $1,784. And that is a really big deal. To hit the rank of senior gold is a major, major accomplishment on your way to more things and just helping more and more people. So if you are a gold ambassador, I want you to give yourself a shout out in the comments and share what your goal is for achieving senior gold, because I want you guys to write it down. Because if you think about it, and if you remember, a goal without a plan is just a wish, and daydreams alone seldom produce tangible results. So when we have a plan, and then when we write it down and we share it with others, that is just going to help us even more. And remember, everybody's goals are different, everybody's timeline is different, and everybody's journey is going to look differently. And really, this goes for any rank. When we're looking at Plexus, you know, you have to go one rank at a time. You know, you have to go silver before you can go gold, before you can go senior gold, ruby, and so on and so forth. And so just really making that plan and putting that out there and stretching yourself, that's when you're gonna see the magic happen. So I want you guys to go ahead, if you have pen and paper, get it ready, because you're going to want to take these notes, because I know that these ladies, they are going to bring it, and they are going to share some really awesome tips based on the things that they have learned on their journey so far to senior gold. And I want to say too, I asked them, like, how long did it take you to achieve senior gold? I think for me, on my journey, I think it was 19 months. Could be totally wrong, but I think it was about 19 months for me to hit senior gold. And we have girls that are sharing, you know, as early, I think somebody said 4 months to get to senior gold, all the way to like 5 years. So I love that when you are committed and when you are consistent and when you just learn and grow, like, you're going to achieve these things. So first up, I have Brittany. Brittany, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Brittany.
Sorry.
All right. Oh, wait, hold on. Are you muted?
I don't think so.
Yes. Oh, no, where'd she go? Can anybody else hear Brittany?
Can y'all hear me?
Oh, it would help if I turned my volume up on my computer.
That's okay. Awesome. Well, so I'm Brittany, and I'm trying to think of how long that it took me to go senior gold. I have to admit, I started with Kim Tharp in 2016 with Plexus, and then I quit. I was like, this isn't for me. The products aren't working. All you need to do is diet and exercise, and you'll be fine. And so I quit. And then back in 2020, 2018, after I got married, I was very tired of working 14-hour days at the gym, waking up at 4 a.m. and then like not leaving work until about 6 or 7. I was so exhausted, and when thinking of that, I was like, well, I know my friend Kim, she's like she makes a lot of money with Plexus, and then I saw that they supported gut health, and I was like, okay, well, I can support that. And so I got into it, and it took me forever to go silver. I feel like it took me forever to go silver, and then so I believe that I went senior gold last year because I lost my job at a gym. And so it was like God's way of saying, Brittany, I want you to do Plexus. This is the most rewarding thing that you will do. I want you to do it. And it was like, okay, then. And for some reason, things just have to kind of like click in my head. I can be a little slow sometimes, but so I went senior gold last year, I believe, like in the summer. Can't believe it's already been a year. But anyway, so I was kind of thinking, like Melissa asked us, like what was one thing that we've overcome. And this year, like I was so excited about 2021. I mean, 2020 was like, it was a hard year, but it was such a good year for our company. Like I'm not going to be one of those people of like, oh, COVID's so terrible. You know, I'm like, well, you know, God has used amazing things from it. But so she was like, well, what's one thing that you have learned or like that you have overcome? And I was thinking, I was like, oh my gosh, I have had to overcome so many things, and not just been like, oh, I have to overcome the fear of what people think. Like, yes, I have had to overcome that, but it's not just that, like, oh, I've overcome it. And once you've overcome it, then you're good. Like, you will never fear what people think ever again. And that's not it at all. Like, I literally, it's a daily walk for me of having to get in that right mindset of like, okay, do not fear, because I go back and forth. I'm like, I go from the person of like, oh yeah, who cares what people think, to like, oh my gosh, they gave me a weird eye. They're thinking weird things about me. and it's terrible. But like with God, it's like we have to constantly overcome every little obstacle every single day. And I mean, I know not everybody is of the faith, but like God is the only reason that I can live throughout the day. But I was thinking, like, it's so funny though, because I'm a trainer, and so God speaks to me whenever I'm working out. And so I was doing kickboxing video, and so I don't know if you've ever heard of the saying, like roll with the like roll with the punches. And so anyway, I always just thought, like, in my mind, I was like, okay, if they say like roll with the punches, that means that you just got to crumple down. You got to take the punch, like just suck it up and just wait until the bell dings. Like, just take the punch until it's done. But I was doing kickboxing the other day, and he kept mentioning, like, you know, you got to roll with the punches to add that power. And God was kind of like, hey, Brittany, I know this is a weird thing, but basically he told me, he was like, Brittany, rolling with the punches, like when you are getting knocked down in life and when things are hard, it doesn't mean just crumple down and just take it. He's like, rolling with the punches is literally when you are getting knocked down and beaten and things of life are coming at you, like whatever that is, that you are going to force, that you are going to fight with my power, that you are rolling with those punches, that you are engaging in my power and pressing on and keep moving forward. And that was like, I was like, I just had this light bulb moment, because February is just hard for everybody, and especially for us people in Texas, because it was like we lost like 2 weeks worth of work. So my paycheck, my husband, I transferred it, and he was like, yeah, I can tell February was a bad month. I was like, yeah, I know, it sucked. But in March, for me, it was like the first week of March was trying to catch up on February, just sucking. It was terrible. And then the second week of March, my parents, they are missionaries in Romania. So we had to take them back to the airport. So we're dealing with all that emotional stuff from not seeing my parents for who knows how long. And then the next week we had a family trauma happen. And it has just carried on and carried on and carried on the whole month of March. And I was just like, God, I was like, I don't know how I'm supposed to do any of this. Like, how am I supposed to work my business and be that positive outlook when I just feel so crushed inside? And God is like, roll with the punches, use my power and my strength. And one of my favorite verses is 2 Corinthians 12:9-10. And basically, God is like, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. And I just love that, because like when we are weak, he is strong. And when you feel like you cannot just do the business, like you're like, I can't be positive, I can't tell people all about this gut health I'm going through, detoxing, this sucks. Like, use God's power. That is the only way that we can do this business. And that is the only way that we can make an impact in this world. So there, sorry, I did not mean to preach, but that is just what has been on my heart for the past, I don't know how long. But and then as far as Melissa also asked us, like, what has Plexus given us freedom in? And I know a lot of people are like, well, Plexus has helped give me freedom with like being able to say yes to things. Like, yes, we can go on a vacation. Yes, we can do this. And I love that. And God is, and Plexus has really given me that freedom. But I will say, Plexus has given me the freedom to say no, because for me, my parents raised us as very hardworking. Like, you know, whatever you do, like, you have to like work hard, and I don't know, just like keep working, you know. And but so I've always had that mindset. And being married to a teacher, it's a very, like, we know all teachers get paid jack. And so so I was always felt so obligated. I have to say yes. I have to say yes, because it's going to give me money. Like, whether that was meal prepping for $8.50 a meal, like, it was stressful. It's so stressful to be having to say yes to everything just because you need the money. And that's always in the back of your mind. But with Plexus, I'm like, no, my business is doing great, and I am rewarded with my Plexus business. So I can say no to things that I really do not want to do. And I know that sounds crazy, but like, it's so freeing being able to say, no, I don't need it. I'm good. That is not, I'm not saying that it's below you. Like, do whatever you want. If God has called you to do it, whether it's hard or not. But I just want to say, like, it has given me the freedom to say yes to good priority things like family and health and like being able to say yes to those things that I have want to prioritize, and to be able to say no to the things that I just felt so boggled down by. But I think that that's all that I have for y'all, and I'm sorry for anything, but thank y'all so much for listening. And if you are pushing for senior gold, keep pushing. I heard every month is a push month, so push. And it is, and I will say, like, you prioritize Plexus. It is so worth it. It is so worth it, whether that is 15 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, whatever it is. Do not like lay your head on your pillow until you have at least reached out to like one person. Like, make sure that you are doing daily activity, whatever it is. Always keep going, because consistency is key. But yep. Well, thank you guys, and I'm about to mute myself. So
Well, thank you so much, Brittany. I loved it. I took lots of notes. One of my biggest takeaways was just how at the beginning you talked about being an overcomer, and it's not just the one time, it's doing it over and over and over again, because we are dealing with people all the time, and we are going to run into people where it's just not the right timing, and people who are skeptical. And this business does have its up and downs. And so that is one thing that I have also learned, doing this for 7 years now. And as a Diamond Ambassador, I still have to overcome. And that mindset is so important. And I also love to, one thing I took away from that, it just reminded me that when I was senior gold, that's where it really sunk in that the mindset principles and everything that I was learning through Plexus did feed into every aspect of my life. It wasn't just for Plexus. And so it was helping me to really become like that better wife, mom, and friend. And I used to fight it for a long time. And so it was a great reminder. I loved all of that. So many great takeaways. So next, Kelly, are you there?
Yes, I'm
All
here.
right, take it away.
All right. So I'm Kelly. I've been with Plexus for 7.5 years. It took me 20 months to go senior gold and have been senior gold ever since. And I am not sad about that at all. I know we get into worrying about what everybody else is doing. We follow amazing people all through Plexus, and we're like, why am I not there? Why am I not there? So one of my biggest fears is that I've overcome is worrying about what others think and then where others are and why I'm not there. Like I judge myself for not being further along. And I've had to overcome that big time since I started with Plexus. And the fear of looking stupid, or the fear, one of my biggest fears is being boastful. So I do really think that I would be further if I would share more about the business. But then I worry about, oh my God, people are going to worry about or think badly of me because we do have a great life. My husband is an unbelievable provider. And here I am saying, oh, look at me. I need more money. Like that has been one of my biggest fears. And I am so guilty of that because I always worry, like I'll tell my son, don't share about that. And I'm like, wait, he should be proud of that because we have accomplished that as a family. So I've had to overcome that fear, and I'm getting better about sharing the business because without the business, so one of the things Melissa asked us to share about was like the freedom. Without the business, yes, we have a great life, but it is an oil-filled life. And if you're not in it, don't get in it because it's a hard life. My husband's never home. He goes to work at 4 a.m. and he gets home at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. So it's a hard life. He misses a lot. But because of Plexus, I'm present with my son, and that's a big thing for us. Because of Plexus, I was able to write a check for braces completely in full, and my husband could still contribute to everything else that we need for later on in life. Because of Plexus, in this crazy year of the pandemic, we've been able to put away enough money for buying my son a car within the next few months whenever he decides to get a license. He's almost 18, but he's just fearful, whatever, we're getting there. So, I mean, because of Plexus, we have been able to put away a lot of extra money. Because of Plexus, we will be able to pay for college. Hopefully we'll get scholarships and then we can have money for something else later. So because of Plexus and because of the fact that, yes, I've been in it for 7.5 years, I have never given up. I've never not shared. I've never wavered in my belief of the products because I truly believe in gut health. And yes, if you want to lose pounds, that's great. My story is totally different from everybody else's. I lost all my weight before Plexus, so I don't have that share. I don't have that win that other people have. But I can tell you, 7.5 years with Plexus, I've gained 5 pounds. I lost 30 before Plexus. So for me, that's my platform. I know my husband's had great successes in his health. My son has had amazing attention things that we found that started in 4th grade. He's now almost a senior in high school. So, I mean, I will never not share. And I have people come to me 7.5 years later, and I'm like, why haven't you joined me yet? Well, then their light bulb goes off and they said, you stuck with this. You haven't jumped around. Like before Plexus, I would have never thought that I would do this. And now that I've done it, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of where I'm at. I'm proud that I'm senior gold. I'm proud that I've been senior gold for 5 years, and I'm still pushing. Like I will never stop. You see my ruby is up there on the back. It's got lots of colors because it's taken me a lot of months to try for it. I keep just changing my colors, and I'm keeping my goal chart, and I'm not stopping, and I will never stop. And the one thing I've learned about myself that is to just stay true to who I am. Like, I'm not going to waver. I'm not going, I mean, I see everybody doing different things and I'm like, I'm not going to dance and make a TikTok. I'm not going to dance and make a reel. That's not me. I just stay in my lane. I stay true to me. I stay to my team. And I guess one thing I will tell you that I do that I'm guilty of, I forget that I have my business. I get wrapped up in my team who I love and I want to support. And I'm like, push, push, push them. And then I forget, wait, I forgot to push myself. So don't forget that you have yourself to remember too, and that you have to continue to grow your business and help your people along the side and just keep pushing through. And I think those are all of my biggest things. I hope I hit all of my, I'm looking and I'm like, yeah, I think I hit it. So that's my biggest, that's me in a nutshell. That's all.
I love it. I love it, Kelly. And me and Kelly, I mean, because we've been in it basically the same amount of time, I mean, we've even got to go on events together and meet each other in real life. And just, you know, this community is amazing, and you do form those friendships. And I mean, I just love like your long-term mindset of like you're not going anywhere. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you're true to yourself. And that's one thing that was so encouraging for me when I started Plexus, was that I came in it with thinking, if I'm going to be successful, I have to become like these people. And very quickly that was squashed because I was learning from all of these others. And I mean, we're only 2 people in, but you guys can already see the differences between Kelly and Brittany, and you're going to see so much more differences. And they're all successful, right? Like, you don't have to conform to that one type that you think. Everybody in this company that's successful, and I think, you know, success starts from the very beginning. You don't have to be a jewel to be like, oh, I'm successful. No, but you guys can achieve it by being true to yourselves. And as long as, like she said, you're consistent and you keep moving forward and you're working, like, that's where you're going to see the growth and the success. And I wrote down and underlined real big, do not forget about your own personal business. Because if you stop personally recruiting people and you stop pushing yourself, you're not going to have a team anymore, right? People come and go. And if you want to have that team and you want people to work with and help, you have to do the job yourself too. So Kelly, I highlighted that for me because that's something that I struggle with sometimes too. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Next up, we have Mary. Is it Mary, or am I pronouncing it right?
It's Marie.
Marie?
Yeah, Marie.
Marie, I'm sorry. Take it away for us, please.
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for having me. I'm Marie from Australia. I am a mother of 4 children and a wife. I am currently senior gold, this is actually my Plexus anniversary this month. So I've been with the company for 12 months and I started in April 2020. I was lucky and blessed enough to have reached senior gold by August 2020. So I was really, really on a high with how soon I became senior gold. And that was thanks to all my love and support around me. So I still to this day continue to thank everybody who helped me get there. And one big fear I've overcome within the company is, like Brittany and Kelly, I can relate. I have had to overcome all the negative vibes around me. So I think we all know that there are haters out there. So I've had to overcome that and just disregard what people are going to think about the path I've chosen, about my passion for gut health, and about my posts that I put up on social media. So I have, and this is something I've learnt from being with the company, is I have a 5-second rule. So if it feels right for you, don't let it take any longer than 5 seconds to move forward with your action, because you will regret it. If you feel like it's good in that moment, don't let it take any longer than 5 seconds, just do it. And I'm speaking for personal messages, basically. I use that rule in regards to my PMs when I'm reaching out to people. I just don't hesitate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I've sent the message. So I trust my intuition when it comes to that. And one thing I've gained with the company is, for me, it's a personal one that touches me, and it is financial freedom. So I get paid on enrollments, I get paid when my team promotes, I get paid when I promote, I get paid when subs go off, I get paid when I order product. So Christmas time is a really conservative time for us. My husband and I, we take really good care of our money. We do not splurge. We have to prepare and think about what treats we're going to give our kids. But when I joined Plexus, my Plexus wallet became very large very quickly. So we were lucky enough to take a family vacation in the Whitsundays, Bali resort style villa. It was perfect. The kids had a ball, and just watching them play and think to myself, my husband and I did that. Like, I worked Plexus, but he backed me every step of the way. He supported my every move. He was always Team Marie, and that just got me through. And I'll let you in on a little secret. I did not join Plexus for the products. I didn't care what they could do for me whatsoever. I joined for the business. So I didn't have any health issues that I needed to overcome. Well, that's what I thought initially. And one thing I've learned, though, is do not underestimate the power of gut health, because for me, the products worked. And that is what made it so easy for me to share. Like, that's how it was so easy for me to shout it, because they worked. So one thing I will say, if you have a vision for your business, if you have a passion for gut health, then shout that from the rooftops, because we all need to hear from you. Do not stop sharing. Do not let those little voices get inside your head. Yes, it is 3:27 in Australia, Lisa. And that is how dedicated I am to getting my message out to you guys. I've been awake since 2. If you have a vision, share it. Share it and shout it from the rooftops, because you're the only one that's going to make it happen. I have had great success with the products. I had my little girl after 3 boys. We had the perfect family, 3 sons. And then 5 years later, God blessed me with a little girl who I was not expecting, but we welcomed with loving and open arms. And that was a very long ride for me. My mental health was affected. And I did need to be on medication for that. But thankfully, from Plexus, I have been able to halve that dose. So it is so easy for me to share Plexus, and I've gained so very much from it. So all I have to say is, if it's in your heart, share it, and don't let anyone tell you any different. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you so much, Marie, for sharing and just for getting up in the middle of the night. Like, that is true dedication. And I love that example because it's just so good. Like, I think sometimes we feel like it's just kind of like a side thing, or that, what we're doing isn't, oh, it's just, what I do in the nooks and crannies. But having that vision and having that dedication and having that passion to where you're like, I want to help as many people as possible, and I want to share my story with them, and you're going to be willing to get up at 2 a.m. and stay up and share with us. I think that's beautiful and that's wonderful. And the other thing that I wrote down, because I felt convicted with this, but just the fact that, like, the financial freedom that you have from this, I think sometimes when we start Plexus and we we hear that. I think we know, like when we see the numbers, we know, an extra $300 a month is going to be impactful for our family, and an extra $500. Like we know that, but we also sometimes look at like jewel status and say, well, true financial freedom starts when we're a jewel, but it's like, no, that's not true. Like that's not true. And you just showed, exactly how impactful it has been for your family. As a senior gold, and just more things are to come. So I love that reminder, because like I said, I was convicted of that. And just your dedication and vision, and just how it's worth it to just keep going and sharing, because we are going to have those objections. We are going to have that negativity, and we just keep getting to push forward, because the reward is so much greater, right? Even I've always said, even if it's just one person that I can help, it's 100% worth it. So thank you so much for sharing. We're going to go on. Nikki, are you there? Do I see Nikki? Do I have, or maybe I have the wrong order. Hold on. I wrote it down, and then I also, okay, I think I wrote down the wrong thing. So let's see, because clearly there's Sophia. Do we have Sophia? I hear somebody. We're just gonna wait. Okay, so we're gonna just go down until Sophia comes back. Where's Lindsay? Lindsay, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, let's go, and we can circle back around.
All right. Hi, everyone. I am Lindsay. I joined Plexus about 2.5 years ago. It took me about 1.5 years to reach the rank of senior gold. I thought that getting to gold was the hardest part of it, because I really didn't have a team behind me. I pretty much reached the rank of gold almost completely by myself. And that is where I started to find my people who would actually run with me. So one thing that I've learned so far on my Plexus journey is that the speed of the leader truly determines the speed of your team. So last week on the coffee talk, Melissa mentioned that we are in a season of full momentum right now. And that makes me feel two emotions. It makes me feel both really excited for what's to come and the potential that there is, but it also makes me feel super scared, because the same kind of momentum happened last year. If you were with Plexus last year, you remember crazy momentum during this time. So I was asking myself, well, why am I feeling two emotions? I should just be excited for the potential of the momentum that's coming. So I really had to kind of dig in and ask myself, why am I feeling scared? Well, because this time last year, after all the momentum came and my team grew to senior gold, actually during June of last year, I reached senior gold. We pushed so incredibly hard that I think we all kind of hit a wall, and we were totally burnt out. We just pushed so hard that we burnt ourselves out. We didn't really feel like we had great systems in place to kind of retain the people, because we signed literally so many people over the course of 2 months, really. And so our retention was not good. My customer service was not the best. And without having systems in place, of course, we know that our customers and their retention isn't going to last very long. So I started losing points. I hit almost 310 points. I was, shooting for Ruby after I had gotten to senior gold. And I fell back 100 points. So last month, I finally re-ranked again. It took me, about 10 months to re-rank to senior gold. So I hit it. I stayed there for 1 to 2 months, and then I just started trickling and falling back just because of those two things that I mentioned. So that is why I'm kind of scared going into this season of momentum, thinking that, oh my goodness, this could potentially happen again to my team. But I listened to a training yesterday. I don't know if you've heard of Jill Renfro or heard her speak or not, but she is absolutely amazing. I think if you are on any of Laura Ferguson's chat, she actually shared it with a bunch of her team. And it just really kind of inspired me to know that she has hit the rank of diamond 3 times and fallen back. So to know that somebody can hit the rank of diamond and not just have an astounding team and stay there, and that they have to fall back and try again and fall back and try again, is really encouraging to me. And it's kind of like seasons of life. You have good seasons and you have bad seasons. So thinking about what happened last year and how I hit the rank of senior gold, and then the momentum just kind of came to a halt and I fell back. It left me with kind of 2 lessons. One is to be a leader and be a strong leader. It doesn't matter if you have 1 person on your team, 100 people on your team, thousands of people on your team. If you have 1 person, you are that 1 person's leader. And I learned that if I take a break, or if you are to take a break and you're that leader, it gives them permission to also follow you and do the same thing. So if you're consistent and you're working and you're doing your IPAs and you don't take that break, even though you're burnt out, your team is probably going to follow suit and continue to be that strong team that you have built up. And one thing I really encourage you to do is, if you don't have an accountability partner, somebody that you can fully trust 100% to call you out if they see you slacking or not working as hard as you were, find somebody that will literally stop you and say, hey, I've noticed that you're not posting consistently. I've noticed that, you're not doing X, Y, and Z. And remember that one time when that happened and, our team just totally started crashing and burning? Have that accountability partner to call you out. And don't take offense to it either, because they're just there to help you. And then another thing I learned from it is to have a really strong customer service care plan of reaching out to your people that you have signed to help retain them. So I know one thing that my small team has done is we have certain things that we like to do to help our customers be successful with their products in retaining them month to month. So we've just made a checklist, and it makes it easy for us. Once we sign them, we have a few tasks to do, and we just check it off for each ambassador or customer that we sign, so that we know that we're holding ourselves accountable, and we're all doing the same thing. So it makes our team even stronger and easier to check in on each other also. So I think that's all I have for you. Just be passionate about what you do. When you hit a tough spot, don't let that tough spot define you. I've seen what can happen when the leader stops. Don't be that leader that stops. Be that leader that's leading your team with passion and fire and consistency. I know Brittany said consistency is key, and I 1,000,000% agree with that. Whether it's consistency with your posting, taking your products, let people see that you're consistent, and they will want to join along with you just because of the fact that you are a product of the product. So thanks for having me on, Rachel, and I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
Lindsay, thank you so much for sharing.
Oopsies.
Yeah, we're on a
accidentally
Zoom.
got
I'm at gymnastics practice. We live in the gym. But some of the things I just want to point out, because I know that we have a lot of people on here who are not yet senior gold and beyond. And I wrote down, be that leader no matter how many people you have, whether you have 1 or you have 50, whatever. And I just remember, so I want to put this into perspective for those of you guys who have goals to achieve, silver, gold, senior gold. if you're anything like I was, when I would sit and listen to, you know, our leaders and they would make those comments, I'd be like, oh, I'm not a leader. Like, I'm not a leader. Like, what does that mean? What does that look like? But really, I mean, I hope you guys have noticed, like, everything, like, it's the passion. Like, the reason why we're sharing is because we're passionate about these products. We want to help people. And so if you're feeling like this, a little bit of like anxiety or fear of like, what does that look like to be a leader? I just want to like encourage you guys and let you know, like, you guys can become the person that you want to become. Like, if you don't feel like you have leadership qualities, because I did not, I grew up thinking I'm really coachable. I'm that team player. I'm not a leader. I really truly believe that. But my desire to help people was so strong that I was like, I can figure this out. And so if you have that little bit of like fear, because I'll tell you what, even as a diamond ambassador, I still fight the mental battle of like, am I really a good leader? So if you're feeling that, those are totally normal feelings. And you can start with just the one person and build your influence and read the books and invest in the mindset and do the things. So don't think that, like, because of your past or anything of your situation, that, but I could never be that way. Like, I'm telling you right now, like, yes, you can. Like, if I could figure this out, I'm telling you, you guys can figure it out, and I believe in you. And it just takes a little bit of that belief of like, I can figure this out. I can achieve this. So I love that. Like, I love that you put so much of a focus on leadership, because it starts at the beginning. You do not have to wait to reach a certain rank to be a leader. And then the good customer care. And actually, I really loved the accountability partner thing, and like, find that person, and it might not even be like it might not even be your sponsor. Like, find that person that can be there for you, because you do have goals. Like, do not give up on your goals. And life happens, and sometimes you have off months, but have that person that can step in, like Lindsay said, that can just be like, hey, like, is everything okay? You have these goals, so go after them. So I could just talk forever. Did we ever find Sophia? Did Sophia ever get back on? I was looking in the chat. I don't see her. Okay, so we're gonna move on to Renee. Can you unmute yourself?
Hi there.
Hi.
So thanks, Rachel, for hitting me up. I know I was back and forth. I wasn't going to be here, that I was, and I wasn't, and I'm here. So there we go. Well, I've enjoyed meeting some of you too in the chats, and we've kind of connected as friends. So hi, everyone. Anyway, I started Plexus last September. I'd sort of taken it on and off for a few years. My daughter Kira, who's on here somewhere, kind of got me signed up, and I just wouldn't take the stuff. They'd sit on the shelf, and I'd collect like 6 months worth of product, and for whatever reason, I just wouldn't put it in my mouth. And hi, Marie. And so finally, I got consistent, and what a difference. Like, I can't say I have one of those stories where my life was transformed and changed. I didn't have a lot of serious ailments, but I did feel better, and I experienced some help with, little things. Accidentally, I started losing a little bit of weight, and people noticed and started asking me about what I was doing. So it was a total just accident that I started sharing. And then my daughter was like, Mom, I told you, just use your link. And it just sort of spiraled from there. So in a nutshell, a very quick nutshell, from September 1st to November 30th, I went senior gold, which is crazy, I know. And I thought, this is the easiest business ever. How come I haven't been doing this all along? Like, I can just make all this money, and all these people are coming out of nowhere, and I'm just like, post, and easy. Well, then December happened, and my points nosedived. I mean, I went like, I was barely gold. And I thought, okay, so this isn't so easy. Now what am I supposed to do? So then I'm on, like, with Autumn and some other people, like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to get my points back. They're just all gone. And I thought, well, maybe after Christmas, after they shop, they'll come back in January. Well, it's April now, and I'm still trying to get back to senior gold. So what I did was, I enjoy the products enough. I enjoy the people that stayed with Plexus and how much help they're getting, I realized it was something valuable, that it was really helping people that I knew. So then I started digging into, okay, this is probably normal. How do I get out of this hole and start moving forward again? So I've been watching trainings and attending things like this, and it's helped. But when they asked me to talk today, I thought, why? I have no points. Why do you need to hear from me? But I considered that everybody has a story. Like some people, some of my people that are taking Plexus, their stories are amazing. Their faces look great. Their health conditions have reversed. They can sleep. I mean, there's real help, and we know that. And then there's people like me who don't have serious problems, and maybe I have other little things that it's helping me with, and maybe the financial part helps me more, and that's a story to tell too. So everyone has a story, regardless of how insignificant it is, or how we measure success against someone else's success. It's all a story that someone could relate to. So I think that's one of the things that I've come to really love and appreciate, is that even my little, little tiny story helps somebody. So what I as far as like the benefits that I'm experiencing right now, I have enjoyed some financial relief. I wouldn't say I'm financially free yet, but I have experienced quite a bit of relief. And just to have a set amount of residual income really helps my family. So, and I considered, when you're working at a job, you have an X amount of hours that you can work for a certain amount of pay, and there's a cap. But with Plexus, I've learned by watching these amazing jewels, there is no cap, there's no ceiling. When you hit the ceiling, okay, start over again. And when you hit that ceiling, sign up your husband. It's like, really? So, and I basically, by developing leaders, like I really appreciated what Lindsay was saying about um, investing in those leaders and kind of duplicating what I've done will help me get to that next point. So all of that to say, um, I came up with this little phrase that well, because I went senior gold pretty much on my own, all level ones. I had one girl that signed up, a few people, but I came up with this phrase that I tell myself: level ones can't get it done, but level twos do the do. It's silly, I know, but I think I'm going to have a t-shirt printed, because what I realize is at some point we tap out our network. And that's kind of what happened to me at the beginning. I had all of these people coming out of nowhere. And now it's like I struggle to sign up one or two people in a month, but I've got plenty of level ones. So I've kind of changed my concept now, and I'm trying to encourage people to share, which brings me to the part that's probably the most challenging for me, and that's messaging. So if you would just indulge me for a moment, if you're someone who struggles with messaging or is afraid to message, would you just tell me in the chat, yeah, I'm afraid to message, or I hate it? Because this is what I've been really working on this year, or this month. And I know my daughter can relate because we talk about this all the time. But what I found is that I kind of just need to let go and trust the system. And the system means all of these jewels that run all these trainings and that invest in us. I need to trust them because I've been here since September. What do I know? And when they tell me you really need to message people, I get clammy, I get nervous, I don't know what to say. And I think, oh no, I'm too busy today. Oh my gosh, there's so many excuses. And so what I did was I thought, let me just focus and trust the system and just message and see what happens. They've given us great verbiage. I tweaked it a little bit to fit my people and started sending it out. And I just wanted to share this with you because, again, we all think our story is not a big deal. But I have to think that mathematically, what I'm experiencing, I'm trusting that some of you are experiencing too. Another way to trust the system. So here's what I've kind of gleaned from all of this. I send out a few messages. I committed to doing like 50 in 1 week, and every day I did 10, and I sent them out. And oh, I thought I was going to throw up. I was just like, oh, and then I'm thinking, what do I really think is going to happen? It's a piece of communication. We do this all day on email and text messages and phone. So why am I so afraid? And I tried to really answer that question for myself, which is what I would challenge you to do. And for me, it was, I'm afraid they're going to think I'm hounding them. I've got some crazy gimmick and I'm trying to make money off of them. I'm making a buck off of my friend. Or I'm trying to, uh, I'm hounding them and they are not going to appreciate it, or, all these weird reasons. And So once what I learned was when I sent these messages, I got the most beautiful, the sweetest no's you could ever get from people. Granted, they were no's, but they were like, "Oh, thank you so much for thinking of me. It's not really for me." Well, I'm not going to go back and go, "Yes, it is. You got to buy Plexus because I need the money." We don't think of people like that. I just did. I trusted the system. I sent a message. They graciously said, "No, thanks." Someone else said, I was shocked. "Oh, I've never heard of these products before. Can you tell me more?" I'm like, "Dude, I post like 2 posts a day and you've been my friend for how long and you've never seen my posts? So what does that tell you about Plexus?" We're assuming everything we put out, the whole world reads it and it's so profound. Well, they don't see it or they don't care or they scroll by. She's like, "Oh, I would love to have some of that. I'm struggling with this, this, and this." So that was certain responses. And I'd say maybe, 10% of the responses were curiosity. Most of them were no's, and some of them were like, "Send me some more information right now. My mom has cancer," or "I'm struggling with, I just found out I had diabetes," all these little things. And then now I have a connection with those people. So Plexus isn't for you now, but I message them, "How are you feeling today? How's your mom doing? Can I pray for you this week?" And eventually I know that those people will find it because the seed was planted and it's a positive thing. But I can't tell you of one message that I got back out of those 50 messages that made me feel bad for messaging them. Not one. The other group just never responded. So that doesn't hurt, right? And so I think that's what's really helped me. And even though it's still not comfortable, I do have tangible evidence that sending a message is not going to hurt me. And now I'm going to continue to do that. And also that counts for my level ones and some of my level twos. I've got to message them too about possibly sharing, or let me get you $275 this month. Wouldn't that help you? And so my whole goal this season is to get really good at communicating. I'll call it communicating instead of messaging, and seeing if I can tap into my new potential leaders and then new network. And then hopefully the next time we're together, I'll be back to senior gold. And so that's my groove right now. So thanks for having me, Rachel.
Thank you so much, Renee. I just love the little shift on mindset about messaging. I wrote down how you said messaging is just a form of communication. And then I wrote some other notes down, just how, I think we know this, but it's just such a great reminder that posting on Facebook is not enough, right? And messaging is so important. It's just another form of communication, and that we just need to be normal and make that connection, because people really are wanting that connection. And yeah, I loved it. It's just like the tiniest little tweak on what I've been thinking about recently. So just a great, great reminder. I also loved what you said about how Plexus has given you financial relief. I love that shift on words as well, because it's so important. I think that we forget that we can offer, this opportunity to people, and we don't have to we can't promise them anything, but that financial relief is also just as important as that financial freedom. So I absolutely loved that. I loved just you sharing your heart and your honesty. And it's nice to see that you're not alone, that people don't like messaging, right? Like it's not easy, but we also all know that as nervous or as fearful, or the lies that we tell ourselves about what's going to happen in that messaging, that as long as we love people and we want to serve them well, we want to give them that opportunity, because what we have in Plexus is an absolute gift. So we are about pretty much done. I just want to wrap us up with a few things, but really, I just want to thank all of our senior golds who shared a little piece of your heart and what you're learning. And so proud of you guys. And like I told you, I took so many notes, so many great nuggets. I love hearing the different perspectives and the different journeys. But when it comes down to it, everybody talked about commitment and passion and having a vision, and just like loving people and sharing with them, and just keep moving forward. So I can't wait to see all of your guys's Ruby announcements, because that's what's going to be next for you guys. So I will definitely be paying attention. So again, thank you so much. And then I just want to wrap up our announcements for what's going on. For those of you guys that are catching the replay, this is going to be, let me check my date, because I know that sometimes when you're watching a recording, you're like, this doesn't apply to me anymore, or does it apply? So for the week of April 11th through the 17th, number one, I wanted to just remind you guys all of our enrollment cost is $9.95 right now, which is a huge savings off of our normal $39.95. So great enrollment pricing. We are, in our Q2 success sprints. Since they just closed commissions, I am guessing that very soon we will get to see our tracker, but really excited about Q2 prizes. And then remember, in this month of April, if you sign 3, you are going to get a bonus $75 on top of your usual business building bonuses. Sorry. Tomorrow we have a product call. If you guys have not been to one of our team product calls and you haven't invited your team members, jump on there. The information is going to be on your team page, or you can ask your closest Jewel upline or your accountability partner that you're going to have. You guys help each other out with details. And then next week, we will not be having our coffee talk. We will be having, Plexus has our book club next Saturday. So we'll be taking a little break for book club. I think that is it for our announcements. This is a very exciting time in Plexus. This is really when things start to pick up and it gets exciting. So hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Thank you again for spending your Saturday with us. This is a highlight of my week, and just so proud of all of you guys, and just the work that we're doing is changing people's lives. So don't forget that your story matters, and don't be afraid to share, because you can have a huge impact in somebody's life. So love you guys, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.